Hold on. All right, everyone. The Shark is back. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. And New York Giants football is back in full action. It's Tim.
Indeed it is.
It's R0B, also formerly known as The Rob. We got Michael. He says, sorry, I will always think of Goodfellas when I hear of Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito, the essence of the quarterback for the future. The future. If you watch Twitter, if you watch other social medias, he is the linchpin now. He is the future. It reminds me of when the Giants drafted Eli Manning and Jarrett Lorenzen, and Jarrett Lorenzen had one good preseason game, and everyone was like, "Oh, Eli, Eli was a mistake. We got Jarrett now." Relax, guys. It was against third teamers and Home Depoters. Okay, let's.
Which are still better than ours.
We're gonna talk about that. We have to talk about there's a couple things we have to talk about. We have to talk about the offensive line. We have to talk about the running back position.
You mean it's another year where we're talking about the offensive line?
We have to talk about the offensive line. We have to talk about the offensive line.
Man, deja vu.
By the grace of God, we have to talk about it. Okay, can we just cut Matt from Connecticut right now? Can we just give number 74 to somebody else?
Can they just stop playing him at left tackle because he's not good at left tackle?
I got an idea. Can they just stop playing him? Can we just make it that simple? Because oh dear Lord, Detroit barely played any starters. They played one or two. They had a sprinkling of starters mixed in. We have some guys that are vying for positions to start on this team, Rob. And it looked like a turnstile. I felt bad for Tyrod at one point. I felt bad for Tommy DeVito at one point because of the fact that the Detroit was in the backfield more than the quarterback was. And I was like, this, and this is our depth. And what's his name? Joshua, the Joshua tree. Oh, dear Lord. I keep hearing about his skill set, Rob. I keep hearing about how wonderful he's going to be. I keep hearing this. I don't see it.
Neither do I.
If you're against second, third, and fourth teamers and Home Depoters, the depth issue between the Lions and the Tigers and the Bears and the Giants.
Oh my,
was so glaring. And you don't want to panic because it's only one preseason game. I'm not going to panic. The Shark might panic, but I'm not going to panic. But how, Rob? How?
What are we going to do? What are we gonna do?
How can this be that these guys who are counted on to start were so horrid against the backups for Detroit?
I don't know. It was, I mean, three out of the 5 linemen to start the game are potential starters in Ben Bredesen, JMS, and obviously Joshua Zudu. I thought JMS did a good job.
I think he did good. Did well for his first time out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the fact that he, you know, the one play the Tyrod, you know, rolled out, he kind of sprinted, got in front of the defender to buy Tyrod an extra, you know, second.
Any painter.
You know, to, you know, either be able to make a pass or, you know, to take off and run, which is what he did. I thought JMS played well, but Josh Zudu, Ben Bredesen got absolutely embarrassed in that game. Zudu had some
nice,
you know, some good blocking pros, or as far as like when it comes to run pro, and I mean a few, but I mean he was falling down. He was trying to pull guys, you know, it just did not look good. And then Brent Bredesen is getting beat by second teamers, just getting blown right by. And then it just continued, and where all the sacks piled up was in the second half with Corey Cunningham and Matt Purd and
Corey Cunningham. Richie,
the guy who said, "Hey, you know what kind of people you got in this boat? We're gonna jump in the swamp down there in Rickety, Florida. We'll go get them Crocs." You couldn't even stop a third string freaking defensive end. You gonna go get a crocodile? Get out of here, bro.
He was so bad. And I actually liked Corey Cunningham last year. I thought he could turn into, I thought he could potentially I didn't think he was going to be a starter, but I thought maybe he could have some chops and, be a backup. But when you are literally getting toasted by the backups, I mean at that point, to your point, in the third and fourth quarter, it was strictly third, fourth.
Yeah, it was the edges.
Yeah. And
it was awful.
And
they had Wyatt Davis playing right tackle. I thought he was supposed to be a guard. Like,
Wyatt Davis, I don't know. Wyatt Davis was another guy I liked last year. I think they should all get put on the same boat and send them out somewhere, because I mean, if Joe Shane right now is not scanning the waiver wire for anything.
I mean, look, you still have a guy like Dalton Risner, who is he's not a world beater, but I've been talking about him for a couple months. I actually thought he got signed. I actually think he was getting interviewed, by a team, or he went in for a visit. I guess they didn't end up signing him. He's still a free agent, but I mean, he's been in the league 4 years, but he's been consecutive with his starts, so he's reliable. And I would bring him in, man, start him at the left guard spot, or have him compete for the left guard spot. I think you need an anchor there. Josh Azudu, Ben Bredesen are just not it. And I don't think that Dalton Risner are it, but I think Dalton Risner is at least could be better than those guys. I think that Ben Bredesen is a good rotational piece, not a starter. It just was not good. Was just not good. And I think that I walked away from this game stating our depth on this team is still awful. We still have awful depth on this football team. The offensive line is still a problem, and that I would really like Matarazza to be my freaking punter instead of the
gap talent. This is interesting. The gap talent between the second, third, and fourth teamers between us and Detroit. Now we are always in comparison now with Detroit because of what happened last year, and both of us making the playoffs. But the gap in reference to backup talent. I mean, you saw some of these guys on Detroit, some of these young kids that were flying around that first quarter,
bro.
You were like, damn. Can we get some of these guys? Could you just cut some of these guys now? So we can bring some of these guys in for a visit, because damn.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be. I think they're definitely looking at the Lions waiver wire. I think that's why in the joint practices you had Joe Shane that was there, Brown was there, the entire Giants brass was there, John Mara was there, so I think that they were definitely scouting their team for potential cuts that they could maybe pick up off the waiver wire.
Let's run through some of these, because I want to talk about some of the good too, because we got to get through some of the bad stuff. But I also want to talk about, because there was good things. Todd, what does Todd have to say? Todd says whatever skills he has, it's not related to blocking.
No, definitely not.
That would have to be the Joshua Tree. Let's see. ECK drafted Davis Webb in the late round of my fantasy football team. Well, I think he's a coach right now. We got Alex Sports coming in saying, turn. We got Stanley dropping in saying, Cunningham and Davis need to be released ASAP. What the hell are the Giants waiting on? That's a good question we're going to talk about. We got the OG knockout coming and going, what's up, guys? We got Giants among men going, Timmy. Let's see. ECK also says, Wyatt Davis, Cunningham, and Matt need to go rapidly. Chris says, what's everyone? Why don't all the starters play at least the first quarter? This is ridiculous. Watching the bulk of the starters around the sidelines. I watched a lot of football yesterday because I have the NFL Plus thing, so you get all the preseason games. And there were a lot of teams that played
their starters.
I mean,
the Chiefs are playing their starters today.
I was shocked that Chicago went almost into the second quarter playing Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields was only 3 for 3 for like 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. But also,
he had negative air yards though.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck? What the hell's going on with him, man?
I swear to God, man, I can't stand this fan base sometimes, bro. I really can't.
We're gonna get into that because I got into a Twitter spat yesterday.
You
shocking. About a post I had, and I love it because I live rent free in so many people's heads. It kills me.
Oh, I love it too.
Because it's like, I wasn't even thinking about you. And I I don't even follow you, but okay. But I posted something, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, that was just a troll picture. No, it wasn't a troll picture. It was from our old friend Seamus. Fucking idiot. David said, anyone know what Nate Solder and Eric Flowers are nowadays? I kind of miss.
I'll be very honest with you. As bad as Ben Bredesen, Josh Azudu, Corey Cunningham, and Matt Pert are, I would still take them over Eric Flowers and Nate Solder. That's how bad Nate Solder and Eric Flowers are.
Yeah. Chris says the O-line was a real problem going into the draft and still is. Nothing new here. Reisner is a quality starter, says ECK. We also have Giants Twitter battle against him. Yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. People are DMing me about it because people are evidently getting, because I don't follow certain people, and evidently they were getting nasty about me, and I wasn't there to defend myself because I just post shit and kind of leave. Because I like breaking people's brains. Mike Lee says product for salary cap issues 100%. Todd says on the other bright side, you don't need to be picking high to get the best guard in next year's draft. I want to talk about one of our other players that I kept hearing all about during the draft, Rob. And I'm not saying anything that's bad about him yet. Eric Gray. When Eric Gray was drafted, the first
Gray quads?
Greg baby quads. When he got drafted, the first thing I said was, I don't see the burst. I don't see that initial speed. I don't see to get into the second level. He got dragged. He reminds me a little bit of Wan'Dale Robinson. He got dragged down a little bit, quite a bit during his college career. Had a tendency to run out of bounds instead of fight for extra yardage. If you watch some of his films, and I met him. Great kid. We've posted the pictures before. I'm following him in camp, and then he gets into the game against the second, third, and fourth teamers and the Home Depoters, and he averages like 1.9 yards. I just don't see the burst. I don't, and he was returning punts and kicks. And I said maybe it's because of the fact that he's nervous. It's his first professional game, even though it's preseason. But I see the same guy I saw in college that it's like, okay, good player. He's more of a bowling ball back. He's got to get going downhill a little bit. But I don't see that. I don't see that burst. I still don't see. I didn't see it when we drafted him. I didn't see it in college. And if you can't do it against guys that are probably not going to be in the league, I mean, I'm not throwing up the flag on him yet because, like I said, maybe he just had a bad game. But you are indoors. You are on the turf. You would think he would excel against these guys.
Yeah, like. To anybody that was saying this guy is the future when Saquon Barkley was holding out and they were ready to turn over the starting jobs. Yeah, I bet you're glad that Barkley is back. Look, I mean, I think that Gray's a good player. He just seemed really slow out there. Seemed like he was running with cinder blocks on his feet. I didn't see, much of a burst. Really couldn't get going. But you know who I did see get going, and a lot of you probably aren't going to like Deuce Vaughn. I saw Deuce Vaughn, performing yesterday, making some nice runs, showing some burst, got used in the passing game, was used in the return game. And by the way, he was available when we took Eric Gray. So, I'm not
gonna worry about another player that we didn't take. Let's not worry about those guys.
No, but what I'm saying,
we got our own problems.
No. Yeah, no.
Tim.
But what I'm getting at with that is that everybody on the Twitter app here wants to sing a song and dance for Joe Shane and Brian Dable as if they are without flaw, like as if they cannot make mistakes. And as of right now, when you look at this first preseason game and you look at this first draft class, they had a late round pick in Daniel Bellinger. He hit right. We saw some good things with him. You drafted Kayvon Thibodeau, okay. You drafted Evan Neal. He's a question mark. So Dane Belton, okay, maybe I wouldn't necessarily say that he's a hit at this particular point in time right now.
He did play well.
He did play well.
Played very well on Thursday or whatever.
He did play well. I would say Wan'Dale Robinson, I like him. I think he did some good things before his injury. I'll say that's a hit. The rest of that draft class is a question mark. And I'm not including the first round picks because those are easy picks as of right now. So from your second round down to all of the picks that they had last year, only you could say two of them right now were probably hits. The rest of them is all question mark, and those should be quality depth. And right now, they're not showing up. And then I just all of these people that are putting Joe Shane and Brian Dable up on a pedestal for what they do. When I bring up Deuce Vaughn, I just bring up the fact like, okay, maybe they are making some bad evaluations at times. And it is possible, guys, they could be wrong. You know what I mean? So
how dare you? Joe Shane, Brian Dable wrong? You deserve that timeout.
Bad boy, Rob.
What the hell were you thinking?
I don't know.
You're not allowed to question things. It's just blind loyalty and faith.
You're right.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Sorry.
On a side note, on a side note, I thought the safeties played well.
Yes.
I thought we had the two nice interceptions. The linebacking core.
Oh, we had linebackers on the field?
Okay. Question. The linebacking core. Did we just not teach them how to tackle? I keep hearing about Beavers. I keep hearing
he didn't play.
I know, but I keep just saying I keep hearing about Beavers. I keep hearing about everyone else that we got, and then we go out there and I watch them, and I'm like, did they teach them how to tackle? I mean, I'm being serious because I've seen some bad tackling with Giant teams over the years, but this was bad. This was not good.
Yeah, was not very good depth at all on this team, man. When it comes across all positions,
and
linebacker.
We have the rumor that Anthony Barr was supposed to come in for a visit. He looks like he turned down the Giants. He turned down the visit they were going to have. With the safeties, though, I was thinking about this yesterday. With the safeties, Rob, you figure you're going to keep McKinney. You're going to keep the Pincock. You're going to keep Dane Belton. I think McLaren or McLean, whatever his name is. I think he's not going to make the team. I know we had 5 tackles against the Home Depot, but I don't think he's going to make the team because I don't think he's athletic enough. And we did bring him in on a veteran minimum unguaranteed contract. But is there any thought process maybe going big nickel and sitting there and just playing kind of what we did a couple of years back and play 3 safeties and kind of keep one guy quasi safety linebacker in the box? Like we did a couple years back when we had Peppers and we had Xavier McKinney play like 78% of their plays inside the box. I'll answer that. Hold on, I'll be Rob.
Geez, Tim, you're a god. Wow, that was the greatest thing I ever heard someone ever say.
Well, thanks, Rob. I really appreciate that. I think we should probably do that.
Wow, you're not only good looking, but you all have a lot of football talent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I had to mute my mic. Answer a question.
I'm sorry. But what do you think? Big nickel, 3 safeties, eliminate one of the linebacker positions. You have Belton, McKinney, and then you put the Pincock in as well. Because they can cover, they can tackle. Hi. And I think they can do
my daughter.
I think they can handle that and kind of do what we did like about 3 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, I think that's just going to put us in bad run support situations, and that's what sucks.
No, we keep one in the box, like we did with Peppers and McKinney a couple of years back. I'm not Peppers, not McKinney. Logan, what's his name? Ryan. Yeah. See?
You mean Landon Collins? Like what we did with Landon Collins?
No, not Landon Collins. What's his name? I want to say Logan Paul.
Love.
No, the other. Yeah, Love too. Love was the other guy we kept in the box. I can't think of his name right now. But what do you think? I'm still thinking big nickel.
Oh, Tony Jefferson?
No. The guy from New England. Joe Shane guy. We cut him in for $750,000 when we could have
Logan Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but you were still questioning it.
I know. But I was waiting for you to answer me.
Oh yeah, Logan Ryan.
I needed validation. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Shane Sams. I needed validation. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, Logan Ryan.
We did the same thing. We played 3 safeties. I think it was, at one point in time, we had Ryan and we had Peppers in the box like 78, 80% of the plays.
I mean, you could do that. Yeah, I saw some really good things with what is it, Tre'Davious Owens? He made a nice break on a ball, breaking off one coverage and then going and taking on a crosser that was coming underneath, almost at the interception, but broke it up. I think if you have him, those will be your four guys. I think you get a little bit more room where you could definitely do that, where you could maybe put like Belton. I think Pinnock has got some good ball skills, playing like a high safety. So maybe you have, McKinney kind of roaming, Belton maybe near the line of scrimmage.
And then you put Jason in the back with McKinney.
Yeah, Jason in the back. Owens can play in the back, I believe. I think he can play deep safety. I think
Bobby's not making the team.
Yeah, I don't think that Bobby's making the team either. After seeing the way that Owens played, I think that if he continues to play that way when he gets his opportunities, I think he'll bump McCain off the team.
I agree. Let's get to a couple of these. Big Don in his house. What's up, Tim? People are really trying to compare DJ to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hyatt. So Jalen Hurts. Yeah, what am I thinking here? I keep saying Hurts is the man among men. I've always liked Jalen Hurts. I've always said it. I got in trouble with Bad Dog and other people, and I said I would take him over Daniel Jones. This was like 2 years ago, because of the fact I think he's got the, certain players may not have all the physical talent, but he's got the it factor that, his team rallies around. And I'm not saying the team doesn't rally around Daniel Jones. I'm just saying he's got that infectious personality that when anyone that's been on the field understands there are certain guys on the field that you gravitate towards. And I think Jalen is one of those guys, and you can take that for what it's worth. Mike Lee says, Eric, I don't want to take a hit. Gray, that guy. Yeah, that was, yeah. We got Todd coming in saying Gray was really meh. It was. If this is him, and he'll be behind Barkley, Breida, and Robinson, and maybe even Brightwell, practice squad next year. Saquon is smiling after the Lions game. Todd says, yeah, I can't stand the fans who are already decided Shane is perfect. This guy is running Gettleman's team right now. Let's see how it goes out. You have to give Gettleman credit, Rob, and a lot of people don't want to. But all these guys that are getting these big contracts from Shane came from where? Gettleman's drafts. So the Bills.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say thank you, Gettleman, for drafting these guys, but he made more mistakes than he did good.
Oh,
I don't think the drafting of Andrew or Lawrence or Barkley or anything like that outweighs his stupid contracts and the bad decisions he made.
I think a lot of the stupid contracts and bad decisions were ownership also. And the lack of self-awareness when it came to the fact that maybe we weren't ready for prime time when we signed like Kenny G and a couple other people that we weren't one player away. So I think ownership had more to do with the stupidity of the signings than Gettleman did. Now, trust me, Gettleman made his mistake. I'm not saying anything, but he made his mistake.
He deserves to be in prison for what he did.
That's what he does. We need to build Shane a statue and send Gettleman to prison. Bobby Okereke realizing he's going to have to play every snap. He's going to have to play every snap. We overpaid for an off-the-ball linebacker. You saw what TJ Edwards did yesterday and a couple other players that took less. Who let the dogs out? Rob, your dogs are stupid. Don't they know they're supposed to say woof woof there?
Yeah, woof woof.
Christy says one preseason game with all the backups. Give me a break. I agree. I'm not panicking, but I think the fact is, you could see the gap in talent, Chris. You could see the gap between their backups and our backups. It's like watching a Division III college game, and all the players are not that great, but the other team has better, not so great players. But in that first quarter and going into that second, some of these guys, man, on Detroit. That's what I was wondering. That's what I was going to ask you, Rob. Are our backups just that bad? Or Detroit's that good, just that good?
I don't know. I think it's a combination of both. I think that we don't have very good depth pieces, when it comes down to it. And I think that they've drafted really well. The Lions have the last few years actually, and they've got some good quality players. So I think it's a combination of both.
I'm just hoping that some of these players show up on the Giants roster. ECK says, I feel like we got depth at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, interior defensive line, cornerback, and safety. I agree with tight end. I agree with interior defensive line. I still have a question mark at corner, and I agree with safety. We're going to talk about Tyrod Taylor. We're going to talk about Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito killed the radio star. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. Let's see. But
Talk about the running back room.
Yeah, the running back. I don't want to talk about the running back room yet. Mr. Belfort said, good morning, Phil. Johnny Wishbone reporting.
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone, and I come running.
Johnny Wishbone's in his house already. Let's see here. We got, which one would you play in the box? We answered that one. Logan Ryan. Thank you, guys. Logan Ryan. Yo, Tim. Yo, Rob. 0B. Y'all hear Fist Vegas on his podcast. He was trashing both you all. No, Fist Vegas is a fucking idiot, so what do I care?
Yeah, I really could give a flying fuck about his opinion.
When you get trashed by a moron, you know you're doing something right. So, and you know what the best part is again, Rob? Living rent. Now, let's say that living rent free in his brain is a very small apartment, but you're living rent free in there again. Let's see. Joe Rev says, got here, fellas. What's going on? David said, Hurts earned my respect, but he's obviously questioned Peterson's call to throw the game. Well, it doesn't matter about that. We got James Williams saying, good morning, chats. Good morning, boys. Salute. Joe Rev says, I am convinced by Joe Shane, but I really didn't like Gettleman. I wasn't a Gettleman fan. Yeah. Chris says, problem with Gettleman era was the simple fact he could not get the coaching. Well, that's a good thing about Gettleman. I don't want to talk about Gettleman, but he couldn't get the coaching right. He picked two coaches. You swing and a miss, on two of them. I don't think you're.
And to be fair, Joe Judge wanted to hire Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. So I don't know. Todd says the Detroit quarterback Detroit played looked not good. Yeah, we're going to get into the quarterback play. James Williams says there are two biggest things Shane has done and actually improved the team other than Brian from Buffalo. Well, that's a big one. I think hiring the coach is a big one. I think you got to give him a credit. The Bugaloos, we're the Bugaloos. We're the Bugaloos. We're in the air and everywhere, flying high, flying free. So happy to be. Only old people are going to know that. Joe Rev says, I bet y'all Saquon is getting signing that right now. I don't think so. ECK say Fisk is pretty delusional. He's an idiot. It's a fucking moron. I don't deal with stupid because you know why?
Listen, this is how idiotic Fist Vegas is. Fist Vegas a year ago was saying that Saquon Barkley, before they had their breakout season, that Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones didn't deserve to be on this team or get paid. And then all of a sudden he's all Daniel Jones deserves his money, this, that, or whatever the case may be. So he's a fucking idiot.
I would say he's clown shoes, but that's an insult to clown shoes. I stick to Tana, you and the bad dog. Fisk, OG Knockout said, Fisk and Chris are delusional about the Giants and Daniel Jones. You could be delusional about Daniel Jones. I don't have a problem with that.
Who's Chris?
I think the Christy and the Tana he's talking about.
Oh.
I think you could be delusional about Daniel Jones because the fact that this is the year. This is year 5. Usually with a rookie quarterback, we say year 3. But this is year 5. So he's got to do what he's got to do. He's got to do that thing you do. What did you think of Shane Lemieux? Did Shane Lemieux play?
Yes, he did.
I was joking. I think Shane Lemieux has got the same problems that he's always had, Rob. I think
Shane Lemieux is putting in a job application at Wendy's right now.
I think Shane. Don't forget to hit the like button when you come into the chat. Shane Lemieux can run block.
Sometimes
he cannot. I'm going to give him credit. I think he can run block. I do think he can consistently. No. But I think he can run block.
He can't pass block worth a shit.
If you put him in pass protection, you might as well just take him and put him on the other side of the line.
Yeah.
Because that might slow them down. He might be able to trip a couple people and slow them down before they go.
Bro, I remember his rookie year, he played okay. And I think because he was wearing 66, people were saying, oh, we've got the new David Deal. I'm like, bro, give me a break, bro. Give me a break.
Todd says, I do worry about Dable's health. Do looks like a tomato when he's pissed, like the punt return gave touchdown we gave up. I do worry about Dable's weight. I know that's weird to say, but my my wife told me at one point in time that because Dable's weight fluctuates a lot, and he seemed to have gone up a lot in the last couple of weeks. My wife says people eat their emotions. And so he doesn't think, she says, I don't think things are going well because the head coach seems to be getting heavier. Because she saw the Jets head coach last year. That was buff rip guy. And she goes, he knows how to handle it. Because he look at him. Then she looked at our coach and goes, well, this is during the 2-5-1. She's like, look at him. He's blowing up.
Yeah, but
his emotions.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, you could take a look at freaking Bill Belichick. He's definitely gained a lot of weight, and he knows how to handle it. So
Bill Belichick's 497 years old. Bill Belichick's been around since the 80s, or it's actually since the 70s. Mike Lee says, nice radio killed to sit in Marty Croft. Yep. ECK said Tana is not delusional. I don't know if he's delusional or not. I don't listen. I mean,
I don't think that Tane is delusional. I think he has some takes that I don't agree with, but overall, I think he's pretty knowledgeable about the game of football. He's a good dude.
Here's the thing about Chris. Here's the thing. Everyone has their opinion. Some people agree with his opinion. Some people agree with my opinion. Sometimes we have probably the same opinion, but it's entertainment. That's why I laugh when someone like Fisk, goes on a rant and tries to bash us because of the fact that we said something he doesn't like. I got 2 words for you, 3 words for you, 4 words for you. Grow the fuck up. Let's see here. James says, I only asked the question because everyone craps on Dave, yet we won last year using the players he drafted. He's not wrong. I want to talk about Mr. Banks and Lovey Hall III and Mr. Hawkins.
I thought Banks played great.
I thought Banks played well. I do think he did get burned on that one play where he was behind the wide receiver and the wide receiver dropped the ball. But I think he recovered on that play extremely well because he got his hands around the receiver. I think he did everything I think Banks did everything you wanted him to do his first preseason game. He showed you he has coverage skill. He is, and it can be corrected. He is a little handsy. He played a little handsy. You got to. If you watch some of his plays, he was a little handsy. But that's just the way he played in college. But I think he fits what Wink wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I only thing I disagree is I don't think he got burned on the play. I mean, he was running stride for stride with Jameson Williams.
He actually caught up at the end. This was on the second quarter going towards the left corner of the end zone.
I know which play it is.
Around about the 10. No, he got burned. He got tricked on a double move. You got to watch the play ahead of it, not just what they showed at the end. He got burned, but my point is he did, but he made up. He didn't give up on the play, and he put himself back into position to knock away, to get his hand in around the wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought he played well. I thought he played tight coverage. He was good in run pro, as well as run defense. Came up, made some plays, had a nice one-on-one tackle against a tight end, right, which I thought was nice. Overall, I thought that he played well for his first time, and Hawkins as well. The first interception with Pinnock, Hawkins had pretty good coverage, also on Jameson Williams. So I thought that was nice, as well.
Hawkins did get lost on that one play I think it was like a 30-yard reception. He went and covered the wrong man. I don't know if he thought he had over the top safety help, but that play, he left the guy wide open. I mean, that play, like I said, and this will come with time. He's a rookie, but he does have to learn that he has to know what his assignment is and maintain his assignment, because in a regular season game, that could have been a big play.
Oh, of course. 100%. He also fell down on a play, which happens, you trip, you fall, you're getting out of your back pedal or your stride or whatever. Overall, I thought he did well in run protection as well, or run defense. I mean, he made some good one-on-one tackles as well. So I thought both of the young guys on the outside played. I thought they held their own. I thought they did a good job.
I think for their first game, both of them did what they needed.
They showed a lot of maturity for the first game,
and I think that's exactly what you need them to do, though. But I think Banks to me was, I think Banks was pretty much what he wanted to, what we wanted him to be. And I think like I said, he fits the system, and I think he fits Wink's system to a T. And I think at the end of the day, I think that he is going to be the day one starter alongside of Dory Jackson.
I agree. I think what's going to end up happening is going into week one, I think you're going to have Hawkins and Banks on the outside, and Adore is going to be in the slot. That's what I think.
I agree. Let's see. Mr. Chamberlain says, Giant fans are the worst. If you don't think Jones has not proven that he is a top 12 quarterback is amazing, you are a hater. I agree. I agree. What is this? The problem with Fist Vegas is he thinks Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in the NFL behind Patrick Mahomes. That automatically should just take away any medium that he would have in reference to putting out content, because I didn't know that, and that's pretty fucking stupid. Chris D says, what you want, you say what you want about DJ, but there's really no other alternative, and that's just 100%. That to his point, Rob, that's reality. That's what I said on my video yesterday or the day before. The season hangs in the balance, not with Saquon Barkley, not with the defense, not with the wide receivers, not with the offensive line, with the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, just when you look at the way that the second team, when you look at just the way that Lions game went, and I understand that it's the first game, right? Now, the Carolina Panthers are in a rebuilding mode. So I don't expect the Giants to look this coming up Friday as bad, right, against the Carolina Panthers as they did to the Lions, right? And then people are going to watch that game and they're going to be like, "Oh, see, we're good. It was just the first game." No. Like, you have to look at where the Carolina Panthers are at and where the Lions are at. The Lions are competing for the division. They are competing to win games in the playoffs. The Carolina Panthers are a team that is rebuilding and trying to get back to a window where they are in a position where they are competing to make it to the playoffs, and they are going to be making a push in the postseason. And that is the difference between, when you look at the two rosters, is that the Lions have good depth, the Panthers do not. So when I look at this team, our team, and this is a team that we very well may meet in the postseason, right? We could very well meet the Lions in the postseason. The way that it looks like to me is the Lions are equipped to win now. The Giants have a roster that is in repair, especially with the depth. And so my thing is, when you have backups that are looking like that and your second and third strings are not playing good, that means your team should be in a rebuild mode. And they are not in a rebuild mode. They extended the quarterback. So now Joe Shane has put them in a win now mode. That is a win now mode.
More of a retool mode right now. Because they've got to retool the roster to make the pieces fit to advance further.
Make it work. Exactly. That's what happens when you pay your quarterback. You basically are saying, we found our guy. This is the guy we're going to be able to compete with. We're ready to compete right now. We just have to retool some things. And I'm sorry, but it did not look like that week, the first preseason game. And you need to have good quality depth, because Connor Hughes said it best. What happens if Waller goes down? What if Thomas goes down? What if Dexter Lawrence goes down? What if Adore goes down? What if
Evan Neal isn't who we thought he was? What if
Evan Neal what if Barkley goes down? What if Jones goes down? This team is not equipped to support itself without any of these guys. So if any or some or all of these guys go down this year with injury, the season is over. It's done.
Well, according to Rob, season's over after week 1. Zach Attack again with the super chat saying Tommy DeVito should make the team based on his name alone.
You were serious about that?
Oh, I gotta love the Tommy DeVito. Let's see here. Let's see here. We got let's see. Brian Dable is getting into tuna shape. You know what's funny? Think about this for a minute about Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells, when he was winning Super Bowls, was huge.
Skinny.
No. He was
skinny, I thought.
Well, not as skinny. You know, we're gonna get
when he was with the Giants, he was thin.
He was thinner, but he was bigger than he was when he started putting up goose eggs in Dallas. He was
Dallas, he got big.
So he didn't really care as much because he wasn't eating his emotions.
And next on the psychological line, we have Rob.
Let's see.
I just think Bill Parcells was drinking his sorrows.
He probably was. I think he was. I think he admits to that too. James says Tana is good for certain information, but doesn't give realistic or objective takes. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some people are fan channels. I've said that before. This is the kinder, gentler Tim. Unless you piss me off. Todd says, Chris and Bad Dog, I have a bit of a homer in them for me to listen to all the time. Let's see. Daniel Jones. Why didn't we see Daniel Jones for at least one series if he's practicing against the Lions all week? That's, we talked about that, though. Why couldn't you just put him? And I understand you're looking at the risk of injury. You're playing guys that you're trying to get a feel for on the offensive line. You don't want, and don't forget to hit the like button, guys, when you come in. You don't want to have that, you don't want to have that Jason Sehorn moment in preseason. Mm-hmm. I mean, but why not just put him in a series? I mean, you see all these other teams playing their quarterbacks for sometimes 2, 3, 4 series this first preseason.
Yeah. I mean, Fields started, Trevor started. I don't think Lamar played, but Mahomes is starting today. Russell Wilson started. I think it would have been a lot better to have especially you have a lot of new pieces that you integrated into this offense that you picked up, Hyatt, Campbell, Waller. Like, I think it would have been good to at least get out there for a series or two or a quarter.
Right.
And get some, because listen, you're not opening up against the Arizona Cardinals here.
No,
you're opening up against the Cowboys, division rival, a team that you haven't beaten, the quarterback since 2016, and you haven't beaten them much over the course of your 5-year career, Daniel. So, I think like getting out there and getting some reps so that you can somewhat have the timing down, the understanding, the motions, the this and that would be good. So, but what's going to end up happening is they're probably going to play next week. They might not play at all in week 3. And then, we're going to roll out week 1. And I'm hoping that we win that game, but they're going to roll out week 1, get their fucking asses beat. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, what the fuck, Dable? What the fuck, Kafka? What the fuck this? What the fuck that? Like, everybody's going to be in a panic. Oh, it's only week 1. Okay. You got to win games in your division. It's a 17-week season, but if you don't win games in your fucking division, you ain't making the playoffs.
So my question is this, though, Rob. If week 1 is one of the most important games, and if you lose week 1, isn't week 2 then the most important game?
No, because week 2 is not a division game. I'm not saying that.
Doesn't matter. You can't go 0-2 because 0-2 teams have made playoffs only 6.78% of the time.
Let me clarify here. Week one, if you lose week 1, I'm not saying that the season is over. Statistically, if you start 1-2 or 0-3 in a season, your chances of making the playoffs are very, very low. And with what they've done and them going to the playoffs last year, I'm sure that I would want them to make the playoffs. But they haven't beaten Dak Prescott since 2016. I think they've only beaten Dallas once, I believe, since Daniel has been there. They need to come out next year, or this year, I mean. You went 1-5-1 in the division. You need to make a statement. You need to come out there. You need to beat Dallas week 1 and try to get on an early run this season if you can and start 2-0 going into a tough stretch of games from the Niners to the Seahawks to the Dolphins to the Bills. You're going to have a tough slate of games coming up after that Cardinals game. You don't want to be going into those games 1-1 and then lose to the Niners, potentially lose to the Seahawks. Like it's going to be ugly. So to me, week 1 is very, very important because it's a division game. You need to win. You've made decisions. You paid the quarterback. You brought these guys in. They need to win week 1. They need to compete.
The kinder, gentler Tim thinks that it doesn't matter. We could lose week 1 and still win. That's just a kinder, gentler Tim. Todd says just one game, but Hawkins and Banks impressed me so much. I'd say start them day 1. I mean, it's not like we have Sanders and Revis on the team. Yeah. Let's see. Not going to play DJ. Lions didn't play Goff. Only an injury risk at this point. They probably worked during the joint practice. Probably something both coaches discussed before. Now, both coaches did not discuss not playing their quarterbacks. That doesn't happen. And also Goff, you can't really compare Goff some ways to Daniel Jones. Goff has been to a Super Bowl. Goff has thrown for over 4,000 yards a couple times already in his career. They're different. They're at different stages in their career. So, and they're at different. There's not as many questions about Jared Goff that there still are about Daniel Jones. And I think to the point, just getting him a little bit of game time is going to be what we need to do. OG says, if we can split the game with the Eagles and the Cowboys, what's the point of talking about the playoffs? That's 4 games lost if the Giants can't do that, plus a tougher schedule. You're right. You're right, not wrong. Retool is a perfect description, Tim. Shane likely is working on his go-to power tools first before he gets to throwing out the rusty backup wrenches, Matt from Connecticut, and replacing it. You know what's funny? The Cowboys, and I know we play them week 1 because it's the most important game of the season. They are basically in a retool as well, because you look at what happened to them last year, and then you look at the players they went and brought in this year. That's another prime example of a team that is retooling for a playoff run.
You talking about the Commanders?
No, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys? I wouldn't say the Cowboys are not retooling. They're in a win now mode. They have a winning roster.
But they lost last year, and they're retooling part of their roster, especially their secondary, to make up for some of their deficiencies and things that they had issues with last year. And it's like sometimes retooling is just bringing in 1 or 2 players. And I think they are at a point where they are retooling right now, but the problem is I don't think we're at the same point as the Cowboys.
No, I don't think that we're even. I mean, I heard that as far as like a 1 through 10, this was on Authentics podcast. I heard Chris saying that on a 1 to 10, where are we as far as closing the gap between Philly and Dallas, with the Giants, and I think he said that. He'd say 8 with the Cowboys and 4 with the Eagles. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I don't know if people know this. 70% of the Cowboys roster is all from the draft. 70%. I think it's like 72 now. 72% of the Cowboys roster is all from the draft. They really don't bring in a lot of free agents from their productive, like from their their whole roster depth. So they do a very, very good job at drafting. They find good players that play. And yeah, they went in, they added a couple of key pieces, that they felt that they could get a little bit better than what they had with getting Gilmore, bringing in Brandon Cooks, so yeah, I think that people are, and look, and I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Eagles, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, they did not improve and just be delusional about it and be like, yeah, we closed the gap. No, they could potentially win this division this year.
They could. Max says, Tommy DeVito.
You were serious about that?
For a number 2 quarterback, Tyrod Taylor looked awful.
Yeah, Tyrod did not look good at all.
Tyrod played 2 series, and this is what I wanted to talk about because evidently I got myself in trouble on Twitter. And I love it because someone posted a picture of the play to Jalen Hyatt that Tyrod didn't make the throw. That Jalen was coming across the middle of the field on around about the 15. Tyrod rolled out to his right and dumped off the ball. And evidently he should have thrown the ball across his body into the middle of the field, hoping the trailer that was clearly visible was not going to undercut the play and intercept the pass if he didn't throw it high enough. And I kept hearing that Daniel Jones would have made that throw to Jalen Hyatt. No. Daniel Jones would have went. The play was what it was. It was a rollout to the running back. That's what it was. It was a design play. Daniel Jones would have made the same read as Tyrod Taylor because that was the play. People have such a hard on for Jalen Hyatt. They would rather just forget about football knowledge and understand you do not throw on the run across your body into the middle of the field, because that's when bad things usually happen, instead of going with the design call. And that's why I was dying on Twitter when people were like, well, Daniel Jones would have made that throw. No, Daniel Jones would have run. If we know anything about Daniel Jones, he's very regimented in his play calling. He doesn't check out a lot of plays. He would have made that same read because that was the play. The play was a play action rollout, dump off to the running back out of the backfield.
And that's not a knock, but that was the right. It's
the right read.
That's the right read, because you got to think, okay, if the guy can undercut it, you don't really have a lot of room to lead Hyatt, because you're throwing it across your body. If you make the wrong throw or you put it too much inside or something like that or whatever,
low,
or low, it could either be, incomplete, you don't gain any yardage, or it's intercepted. So the play was, I'll be honest with you, I think that people are overreacting with this, because I think that Brian Branch made a better play on defense on that than
you're giving people credit.
Then you're giving it, like, and that's the thing, like Brian Branch came across and I honestly think that was Brian Branch that was trailing behind Jalen Hyatt. I think that was Brian Branch. So I think people are underestimating how good I could be wrong on that, but I think that people are underestimating how good Brian Branch is as a player. He made a great play. As soon as he saw the ball getting there, he accelerated and was able to go out there and make a big hit. If he doesn't get to that ball or have that reaction or that acceleration to get there, Beasley's taking that and probably getting a first down and maybe a couple of yards more. So that was a better defensive play than it was a bad read by the quarterback.
Right. But like I said, that was definitely a play by design. That was a play to get a first down. That was a play to move the chains. And for people to say, well, Daniel Jones would have thrown the ball. No. Daniel Jones if you want to give Daniel Jones credit about anything, he is a smart enough quarterback to understand you don't throw the ball across your body in the middle of the field, because of the fact that bad things are going to happen and you're going to get your ass ripped by Brian Dable. Because we saw him a couple times get his ass chewed out by Brian Dable on the sidelines last year. And wait, here you go. There's the play.
Oh no! So Brian Branch is in front. I mean, look at where that. You're not, like, the guy is basically right there. He's like right next. He's like he's running stride for stride with him.
Yep. If you don't throw that ball high, and now listen, if you throw the ball high and to the right, and Hyatt cuts it a little bit, then you may have a play. But then the problem is, if you're throwing across your body, you throw it low into the inside, you're throwing it right into the trailer.
Now, here's the other thing, too. Who's to say right now, Brian Branch, who's right there going towards Beasley, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's watching Tyrod's eyes, guys.
Yeah.
So he knows that Tyrod is about to throw this. If Tyrod is looking inside to the incoming wide receiver, what makes you think that Branch doesn't plant his foot, see it, and makes a play on that ball? Like, nobody fucking pays attention. Like, it looks open because Brian Branch is committed now, because he sees that Tyrod is throwing the football.
He's already dumping the pass off.
He's already dumping the pass. So he's committed to Cole Beasley because he knows that's where the ball is going.
Yep.
That is the only reason why Hyatt looks butt-ass fucking naked. If he's even looking inside, Brian Branch is in a full-out stride towards Cole Beasley. He's not playing Beasley that hard. If Tyrod's looking inside, he's probably striding and giving himself an opportunity where he's like, okay, you're going to make, I'm either going to make this play or I'm going to try to make this play. I think at that point, he would rather give the dump off than versus getting something over the middle. Because to be honest, if Hyatt catches that ball and Branch is fully committed and then he throws that ball to Hyatt, that's a touchdown. Nobody's catching Hyatt to the end zone. Nobody is.
Nope.
So, like, I mean, come on, guys. Like, fucking wake up.
And it just kills me, though, because of the fact that I posted this on Twitter. And, of course, all of a sudden, after there was a lot of backlash to the person that posted it, it was like, well, that was just a troll tweet. I wasn't really meaning that. That was a troll. No, Seamus, that's you, because you're an idiot. There's nothing about it. No troll tweet. You're just trying to back out of it. And then some other people got upset because they thought I was talking about them. You probably think the song is about you, don't you? Don't you? It just kills me, though. But and I love it because you take a snapshot of a play, but you don't watch the play in full speed. The whole play was designed to go to Cole Beasley. There was nothing. You watch it from the snap till the end of the play. It was a design dump off to Beasley for a first down. It was
actually a bad sell by if you want to say that Tyrod did a bad job at selling. At not selling the other route or holding Brian Branch, okay, fine. Maybe I can agree with you on that. Maybe you try to hold Brian Branch a little bit deeper, but I mean, it was going to Beasley from the jump.
Yeah. And that's why I said that would have been the same read. That would have been the same read with Daniel Jones. And then what makes me laugh is I love the people that say, because I posted this, and the responses were, well, Tyrod could have just stopped, planted, and threw the ball. It's like,
with a guy right in his face, right?
Well, first of all, are you going to rip up his ACLs? Because you're running full speed, you are supposed to stop, plant, and then throw.
Pull the picture back up. Pull the picture back up.
All right, I'll put the picture back up for you. Look at this. I'm so official.
What about this guy that's right in front of his face? You don't think that he's athletic enough to stop in his fucking tracks
and do the same thing? Yes, that's what I'm saying. This isn't Madden. You don't have the juke stick. Oh my God!
I mean, this guy is like a yard or two in front of Tyrod Taylor. All he's got to do is plant his right leg and get in Tyrod's face. I mean, come on, guys.
The thing is, if he goes after Tyrod, he's committing. He's not committing against Cole Beasley. He's committing to Tyrod.
And here's the other thing too. What if Tyrod tries to throw it on the inside? What's stopping the guy that's in front of him from putting his hands up and batting the ball down?
Gravity.
Or tipping it.
Gravity. Because in Madden you don't have that gravity. There's not the gravity feature in Madden. But don't worry, that was a troll tweet. I love that. That made my day. That made me actually laugh. And I just love the people that all think it's about them. Like, it's all not even about you. I don't even know who you are. Oh my God. But that's the kind of thing. Like I said, I'm not going to judge Tyrod Taylor off of 3 throws. He was 2 for 3 for like 7 yards. I'm not going to judge Tommy DeVito and make him the backup quarterback because of the fact that he played okay against the Home Depoters. You're riding with Daniel Jones. You could hate him, you could love him, good or bad or indifferent. You're riding with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's it. I mean, I don't know how else. I don't know how else to say that.
I don't know, man.
Irish Rover says, didn't we know that depth was a problem before the first preseason? Some of us knew it was a problem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Irish Rover.
Some of us have been saying that, but
some of us have been saying that. Others think that, others don't think so. Others think that we're going to win 12 games.
Depth, I've been saying depth is an issue on this team since before preseason. And it wasn't anything that I was a savant. It's just the fact that you look at the guys they signed to veteran minimum deals and guys that they brought in. Not saying they were questionable. I just think I think Cole Beasley played well, but I don't think Cole Beasley makes the team. I think Jamison Crowder makes the team. because
I
James
think
Crowder,
Beasley still makes the team.
I don't think he makes.
I think after that hit though, Beasley's probably questioning whether he should have came out of retirement.
I don't think he makes the team because I think he is what he is now. He's a 6-7 yard wide receiver. Jamison Crowder had the exact same amount of yards on one last catch or two less catches. He's got more of an elusibility. A good new word. Call Webster. Elusibility. He's more elusive, and I think he has more big play capability than Cole Beasley. Unless you're going to keep Cole Beasley as a safety net, as a dump off guy. But then why do you have Saquon Barkley, who has more of a chance to bust open a play as your safety valve than Cole Beasley does?
I just think that Cole Beasley has better hands. Like, I mean, he caught that ball, even though he got rocked, he still caught that ball. I don't know if Jamison Crowder catches that football.
We'll never know. Chris says depth is only a problem in spots, not across the board. Okay, let's look at this real quick here. I think we have a depth. Some people think we have a depth issue at quarterback because of Tyrod Taylor. We have some issues at running back because I'm not sure what Breida's going to do. I'm not sure what's. I don't think we have depth problems at tight end. I don't think we have depth problems at wide receiver. I think we have
depth problems on the O line.
I think we have talent issues. We have problems on the O line.
Yeah, talent issues.
We have problems in the linebacking core. We have problems at the defensive end positions. We potentially could have. It depends on how much you are going to rely on rookies to play in your corners, because you could potentially have there's a difference between preseason training camp than going up against Dallas. So we don't know exactly what we have in the cornerback position yet. So I'm not calling that a lack of talent or depth. I'm just saying it's a question mark. And I think we're good at safety.
And we're good at kicker, and I guess we're good at punter.
Well, let's not talk about punters. Let's not talk about that. And don't forget the like button when you come into the chat. But I do think we have, I think out of the major positional groups, I think almost half have question marks.
Yeah.
And I think some of those question marks are big question marks.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that's what we need. I think that's what we need to look at. Mike Lee says, need to somehow get the toys worked out sooner than better. First week is no time to find out what we have. I agree. And that's the thing. You know, let's do a 2 for 2 for Mike Lee. So Rob is saying if we lose the Cowgirls, the season is over, regardless of what mental gymnastic he is trying to do. I just love picking on Rob with that. We got the Big L coming in and say, what's up, my brothers? Tim and Rob, football is back. Did we drop Matt White and Phillips at the Home Depot yet?
No, not yet, L.
We're getting there. We're getting there. What's going on, Tim? What's going on, Rob? Everything's going good. Joe Rev says, how dare you infer that Goff is better than Jones? Jones is the top 3. Samuel says, why didn't the Giants play Booker or Bridgewater?
Booker or Bridgewater?
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I was trying to think who they were.
Bro, Bridgewater's a quarterback who's on the Lions.
Yeah, that would be Booker. And
Devontae Booker is a running back that we had. So I don't know. I don't understand which one.
Guilty says Giants need to start being the Giants again. Need to start showing signs that this is headed in the right direction. This year's schedule will show what it is. I agree. But James says, real. Let's see here. Yeah, but the only problem is the Cowboys are retooling, and they already had a stronger base than we did. Yeah, their foundation is a little bit better. I like the corner. Can't spell his name. Had a pretty good game. What's his name? The kid from Detroit. The kid that we brought up from Detroit. I want
Awarie.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't think of his name.
I didn't really see. I didn't really see much of him.
I didn't see much of him.
I know he played. I wasn't really watching that much.
I was going to say, honestly, the only thing about him is some of the scouting that came out of Detroit about him, reasons why they let him go. They said he's good. He's good off jump. He's good off. He's good at pressing his man, but he has a tendency of getting beat, and he doesn't have the speed to make up. So I think that's one of the reasons, or a couple of the reasons why Detroit gave up on him. Let's see. Chris says, good morning, Tim. Good morning.
Morning, Chris.
Davey says, you are right, because throwing while running prohibits you planting your foot correctly, throwing the ball accurately. I want to the people, and maybe I have to post this on Twitter, to the people that think that you can run one direction, stop, and then throw across your body. I want you to get a football right now It's the thing that kind of looks weird shaped. It's not really round, but it's kind of long and kind of weird shaped because I think sometimes people don't know what it is.
Kind of like no.
Get one of those. Get one of those and go outside to your backyard or go out in the front yard or wherever on the street. And I want you to run full speed in one direction, stop, plant, and throw across your body, and then come back and tell me. We'll wait.
Do, 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 do.
Oh my God. I just, you know what? And the new Madden drops tomorrow, so it's probably even going to get worse. Well, I should say the, what is it called? The early preview, whatever.
Yeah.
That drops tomorrow. Holy overreaction.
I'm Batman.
Our backup quarterback looked bad. It's a good thing we just re-signed our starting quarterback to a major deal. Mr. Albert says the offense looked as vanilla as it did when Daniel Jones was under center. I just think that Jones is better than he is. I don't. It's going to look vanilla because they're not going to run any plays. They're not really going to run anything. They're not really going to make anything different. What are you drinking? A Pepsi?
Yes.
Pepsi is not a proud sponsor of this channel
because my wife is making me coffee.
Pepsi is not a proud sponsor of this channel. Mint Mobile, new Mint Mobile video coming out on Tuesday. There's a big Mint Mobile promotion going on. Make sure you look for that new video on Tuesday. It's gonna be a good video. I think. Do I have the screenshot of the video because I think people are gonna like it. It's about Daniel Jones, and is Daniel Jones the question I answer in this new video on Tuesday? Is Daniel Jones the most polarizing quarterback in Giants history?
I think he is the.
I can't wait for people on this one. I cannot wait for this one. When Mint Mobile asked me to do a partner video, I was like, I have to do the Daniel Jones. Is he the most polarizing quarterback in Giants history video? Have to.
I think he is. I would have to say right now. Look, I think that he's a good quarterback. Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I think that he's just being overhyped right now. But he has an opportunity to prove that hype correct with performance with this season. But I think as of right now, I think he's being overhyped. And by Greg Jennings, I'm sorry, bro, but you are a fucking idiot. Like you are an idiot, bro.
It's first of all, this is kinder, gentler, Tim. That's Greg Jennings' opinion.
Fine, Greg, I don't agree with your opinion, Greg Jennings.
Okay, I'm going to give you a scale. Okay, Greg Jennings is on. This is his opinion. Fist Vegas, fucking idiot. Okay, that's the scale.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So you are disparaging Greg Jennings.
You're absolutely right. Greg Jennings is not on the same level as Fist Vegas. You're absolutely right.
So he can have. Plus, he played in the league and done things. So he can have his. I'm going to give him his opinion. Chris says people are playing Madden and not watching actual football.
100%.
1,000%. Let's see. Donnie C says 49ers could probably make Donnie DeVito look like a Pro Bowler.
Probably.
I'm a little worried about the 49ers this year. About, not just I think they're going to be a lot better than last year. Christy says, for sure, Chris, people just go on narratives, stats out there, too drunk to pay attention to an actual game. Yeah, that's true. Davey says, I don't care who wins the preseason. All I care about seeing people who are fighting for their jobs and doing that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah. I want to get to this one, but I want to get to Todd first. Yeah, the kid is from Alabama. He looked coached up in good D. Here's the question I want to. How did
coached up in good D?
I'm going to this one. How did Malik Willis look?
It's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, man, with brains.
No.
Wait a minute.
Here you.
Oh no, I took out the Malik Willis sound effect. Malik Willis looked good yesterday.
I think they're pushing him because they want to trade him.
I think they're pushing him because of the fact that I saw their second round pick play. I was like, I know Malik looked bad last year, but Will Levis, yikes. I know it's his first action. Malik actually looked good. He had a good drive. He had a great drive the first game of the first series where they actually played the first teamers on the offensive line. He took them down like 13 plays, 80 yards, and ran it in for 5. More poised in the pocket. The last drive of the game, I think he had passes of 30 yards, 15 yards, and 25 yards. So I think he's starting to turn into the quarterback. And with the new rule about carrying that emergency quarterback, I definitely think he's going to be in Tennessee. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I would actually offer them a 6th-round pick for him.
I would probably offer him a 5. I think they would take a 5.
I would take him as a backup
because the progression that he has shown from last year to this year, and Chicago played, which was interesting. Chicago played a good portion of their starting defense that first series, which I was kind of shocked about. And
that was actually a good game, like defensively. That was a good.
And I was more stunned with the fact that Tennessee's offensive line held up those first couple series against because Tennessee had a terrible offensive line last year. Their receiving core in Tennessee, well, of course they didn't play Hopkins, but the receiving core is still really bad. I mean, guys think that the Giants have a bad receiving core and offensive line. Last year, Tennessee probably had the worst receiving core in the NFL and the worst offensive line in the NFL, which is all the earmarks to have a great rookie season as a quarterback. Christy says, for example, the Giants didn't win the game versus last year. We lost to them. Gano missed 2 field goals, 2 extra points, and Richie James dropped a critical ball on 3rd down.
You're blaming Richie James for the loss to the Lions last year?
And Graham Gano. I was gonna let you take that one.
Christy, listen, man. One, thank you for being here. First and foremost, your opinion is your opinion. The only game that Richie James cost us, you could say, is Seattle. That's it. That is it. But to be honest, even other than if they never fumbled the football, I don't even think we made it past midfield for the majority of that game. Like, we could not move the ball offensively in that game at all. The only reason why we scored was because they fumbled the ball on the 3 freaking yard line. That's it. And our red zone was very, very good last year. So,
and didn't we lose that game 31-18?
I don't remember.
We did. And
I mean, I know that they put up like 2 late touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
The Giants put up 12 points in the 4th quarter. Detroit put up 1 point. I was 7 points in the 4th.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Seattle's game.
No, I was saying the Lions game.
Yeah, the Lions game, they blew us out.
Yeah,
they blew us out. The Lions blew us out.
That was also the game Dan Jones had 2 bad interceptions.
So Richie James, if you're talking about a 3rd down catch that was dropped by Richie James, and that's the reason why the Giants lost the game, and Graham Gano missed 2 field goals and 2 extra points, which equipped for what, 8 points. The game, they put up 31.
Yeah,
and
we scored 12 points in the 4th quarter.
Yes, so I mean, stop it.
So, oh my God, look at that picture. It says James, and Giant fans think he's open. Chris comes back though and says, I don't think they're drunk, just play too many video games.
Cheers to that, Chris.
I agree. I love it. Use the juke stick. Got to use the juke stick because that's the only way. Tyrod would have tripped at best and shredded his knees at worst. Oh my God. Let's see here. Mr. Durant said, yo, Tim, do you listen to today's hip hop music like drill music or mumbo? You know what? I like, everyone that's watched the channel for a while knows I'm old school hip hop. And I've always been, I will talk to you old school hip hop going back to the day. I mean, one of my favorite things to talk about, it's not old school hip hop, but it's old school rap. I talk about the original rap battle, especially against, and people don't know, against like LL Cool J and Cool Mo D going back to the early 80s, the whole rap battles that went back in those days. It was funny. I was talking to James Williams last night. And at one point in time, I started singing Candy Girl by New Edition. So I mean, yeah, I have something seriously wrong with me. Davey says, how did Gray do and Banks do? This is what I want to know. Banks did well. Gray looks like he's running in cement, is what the analogy that we had from the big R0 Big. Glenn says, I think we should be worried now. I don't think we should be worried now. I don't think, Rob, I mean, I think some people have taken it like to the extreme. You saw the people that are going to be unrealistic about everything, but I don't think it's time to throw up the flag
on Eric Gray. No, I mean he's a rookie
on the preseason, on the Giant season.
No, I'm not. Listen, it's not about throwing up. It's not throwing away, like saying it's over. But what I'm saying is, it's just. There's nothing wrong with being concerned about the depth on this team, and saying that it's not even near where it was. So, like, or where people wanted it to be.
Exactly. Rock also says, "Wait, you don't like Gray as the backup?" No, I don't like Gray as the backup. And I felt bad because sometimes you meet, like I said, I've met Eric Gray. And Eric Gray is a great kid. I mean, I had a little bit of a conversation with him. Great kid. He's got a good head. He's got a good head on his shoulders. But I've said the same thing. There we are. When I'm bigger than the running back, I think we got some problems. And I said before, I just think he's a little slow off the line, and I don't think he has the acceleration. You could see that in college. And I don't think he was going to be an Amon Bradshaw. I never thought that. And you didn't see any explosiveness on his kick returns or his punt returns. And I'm going to give it and say that it is first game jitters. And then hopefully he is going to improve. That's what I'm going with. And I think Hawkins had a good game too. I think Hawkins played well, Tony. I think we're going to go with that. James Williams said Tim doesn't listen to mumble rap or silly Giant podcasters, but he does venture into the Twitter Jurassic Park, aka Twitter. Yeah, I do. I do venture into Twitter. I'm gonna stay off Twitter for a while though, because people are stupid. RFFD says my prediction for the season is 8-9, brutal schedule theoretically, but I feel they'll fight hard, but still are deficient in talent. Coaching can only take you so far. I agree with that. Don't call it Twitter, call it X9. Every time I hear that X, I keep thinking Public Enemy, Terminator X. Let's see. David says, I also like the strong safety who will probably, that's the Pincock. He played well. Rob, let's see. Rob got an endorsement, lol. That's why it's Pepsi. You got an endorsement? You have a question?
Yes, I would like. So I would like to address something really quickly. Just because this is like later in the. So Chris, so you guys can't even remember the game. So Chris, I'm looking at the game log from week 11. So I'm just going to address you really quick. There were no missed field goals in that game. So Graham Gano did not miss 2 field goals, like you said. When it comes down to the touchdown, which is the only touchdown that the Giants had, which came in the fourth quarter, the extra point was no good. So he missed 1 extra point in that game. They went for 2-point conversion the second time they scored a touchdown in that game, which was in the fourth quarter. And if you look at the actual breakdown, we had 3 possessions in the first quarter, which, did he miss it in this first quarter? Sorry, he did miss 2 extra points. So my apologies there. We had 2 possessions in the first quarter. 1 was resulting in a touchdown. 1 was a punt. Second quarter was punt, interception, punt. Then it was end of the half. Then it was an interception in the third quarter, a punt in the third quarter, fourth quarter, punt, fumble, touchdown. So I don't know where these 2 field goals. And to be honest with you, Richie James, I'm looking at all of the punts. Richie James didn't even drop a pass. Wanda Robinson played that entire game before he got hurt. He played the majority of that game before he tore his ACL, and which I believe he tore his ACL in like the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that we don't watch the game or we don't know the game or whatever, why don't you go back and it's a great thing. You can open up your web browser. You go to Google Chrome or whatever browser source you use, and it's really easy. NFL.com, scores. Guess what? You can change the year and you could search by the weeks and you can pull up the game logs. That's just what I did. Have a great day.
Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line.
Ford Wheaton, is the hype for him now dead? No, because he barely played, and I'm not worried about that. I love this one. The Skyline, Tim. I did what you said in my backyard. I now need a new Achilles, UCL, and ACL, which means you also probably tore your meniscus and your mid meniscus. So that's just microfiber surgery. So you'll be fine. Shake it off. You'll be fine. Rub, like we used to say back in my day, rub some dirt on it. James Williams says, Tim and Rob, certain of us in the chat are the last of the outsider era. A lot of people on social media didn't play sports or play outside growing up. I love it yesterday because I had a conversation with James about the movie The Outsiders. You know, the Brian De Palma film with Tom Cruise and Patrick Swayze and C. Thomas Howell. And we were talking about how in Giant Land that this channel right here is We're the Greasers. And you got the Socias on the other side. Now the Socias are the people that just don't get anything right, and we're the Greasers. So just remember that, guys. You are now a greaser. Sometimes I think I would just want to record my conversations with James Williams because the topic of conversations go so many different ways and so long. I don't even know. Ginaka, decent quarterback. That's not saying much. Let's see here. Guilty says, forget about overhyped DJ. He's just being grossly overpaid. James Williams also says, Daniel Jones is like McDonald's. Will Levis wears Levis jeans. Levis wears Levi jeans. I like that. Logic's fine all the way from Germany. Tim, good to see you. My best to you and the family.
Actually, if you want to be funny, I'm going to get shit for this. Daniel Jones' good performances are like McDonald's McRibs. It comes around like once or twice a year.
I don't like McRibs, but can I rephrase that and go with Shamrock Shakes?
Oh man, I think after this year, Daniel Jones might be like that new freaking the Grimmel shake or whatever that was making everybody sick.
The Grimmel shake. Don't forget to like when you're in the chat here, guys. James Williams says McDonald's is good sometimes, but smells great, but it's not what you want every day. Eventually, it will kill you if you consume too much of it. Oh my God. Davey says, Tim, they might give up Willis for a Philadelphia Soul t-shirt. Oh. How about the official Philadelphia Soul anniversary helmet? Oh my God. Okay. No, I think they're going to keep Malik. DJ is like IKEA. If you have the instructions and all the pieces, it works great. But if you miss any pieces, it's not going to hold up. Oh my God. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you guys can't even remember the game like everyone else. Okay. Tim, who is better? Eric B, Raheem, or you know what? It depends on what type of rap you like because they're different.
I like LL Cool J. I remember rocking out to a lot of his like music back in the day.
I like LL, the early LL. You know, not when he turned into freaky LL. Now, of course, he's got some good freaky songs too. But I like I liked before.
We don't need to go there, Tim. We don't need
before he got into Mama Say Knock You Out. I like his analog before that. Let's see here. Alvarez says the Lions can beat the brakes off the Giants in every facet of the game last season. It was a bad game last year. It was a very bad game last year. James Williams said Tim can body slam our backup running back. I was surprised how small Eric Gray is.
Yeah,
I was really shocked by that.
What's crazy, and I hope that he makes the team. And we were talking about this. like Corbin needs to make this freaking team.
I liked Corbin last year, but I don't know if he's ready yet.
Dude, he's got to like the guy. He's got the speed. He was going and he was running behind the same offensive line that Eric Gray was, and he made the biggest run. And he could do special teams. He could return. He could do punts, kickoffs. Like I think Corbin needs to be, and he's a good change of pace back. I think for Saquon Barkley, you can use him in the passing game. I think he's a younger version of what Matt Breida could be, or what Breida was.
But you know what we need?
We need speed. Speed's what we need.
Demon speed. Speed's what we need. We need
greasy fast speed.
They're gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
We're gonna eat lightning and we're gonna crap thunder as he's eating grapes and the juice from the grapes is like running down his mouth.
Gano isn't when he stopped the BS. Of course he is. For some reason, I never liked rap.
Wait, whoa. Gano isn't worth the money.
No, Gano is.
Oh, Gano is money.
Money.
I think Gano might be. I said top 5, but could he be like top 3 kicker in the NFL right now?
Oh yeah, I'd put him in top 3.
He's automatic.
You know, in the last couple of years, he's been hitting from deep too. You know, everyone goes back. You got to go back years ago to that game where he kicked the record-setting field goal against the Giants to beat him. I mean, he's been
61. It was like a 61-yarder. I mean, people are shitting on him for the 58-yarder, but I mean, it was fucking windy that day.
Well, in Madden, there's no wind. The Pepsi Rob got Rob fired up, bringing receipts. Yeah, we need some Rob. We need some much cut. I'm more interested in 80s pop and house music. I like house music. I like 80s pop too. I like 90s pop. I think I like 90s pop better. I've always told the stories. I never told the full stories, but I've got to back in the early on in their careers. I got to hang out with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys because their touring manager was a friend of my friend's, and his house was like right down the road from my friend's house. And I laughed because I understood, and I've told the story a million times before. I finally understood the phrase, getting more ass than a boy band after hanging out with NSYNC. And this was in the early 2000s because they were like 17, 18 years older. Maybe more than that. And I
used to listen to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys all the time.
Just remember, everybody. Rock your
everybody. Rock your body.
All right, that's enough.
Everybody. Sorry.
We just dropped down to 12 on the list. Oh, snap, says Mike Lee. David says, Mr. Telephone Man have not heard that song in a while. Makes me smile and sing it with you. Of course it does. That's like the other day I was singing Casanova by Levert. That's another great song. I ain't not your Casanova. Me and Romeo.
Rocket Man. Sorry.
Can't you see that I really love you? Gonna sing it to you time and time again. Casanova. Sorry. Google Chrome stinks, Rob. I use Microsoft Edge.
So did I. That's actually what I used to search all of that up.
We also, James says, greasers, baby. We are greasers. I want to be soda pop on the greasers. Oh no, Rob should be soda pop because he's drinking a Pepsi. Let's see here. James can be Pony Boy. I don't want to be the one that dies. Let's see. DJ is the 14th highest paid quarterback this year. He's the 14th highest paid quarterback.
He won't be next year.
He won't be next year. And you know what's funny? He will still be paid more than Jalen Hurts.
I think Jalen's making 13 this year. No, Jalen's making
Jalen's still on his rookie deal.
Wait, is he? When was Jalen drafted?
Last year was his 3rd year.
Hold on.
Well, Rob looked at it. I'm going to keep going on here. I'm going to keep rolling. I think the Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, and Houston Texans are going to be worst teams in the NFL. I think Carolina is going to be better than people think. I think Houston's going to be a little bit better. I do agree with Tampa, and I do.
Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, my bad. $6.1 million cap hit this year for Jalen.
Yeah,
13.5 next year. 21.7 the year after that. 31.7 in 2026. 45.8 in 2027, and then in 2028 it's 54.1. And for anybody that's curious,
Daniel Jones's next 3 years do not equal Jalen Hurts' next 5, I believe it is.
When you look at Daniel Jones with Spotrac, Daniel's cap hit this year 21.7. Next year is 45. 2025 is 39.5. 26 is 56.5.
But only 18 is guaranteed.
Yes,
in 2025. So we have to put it in context.
Yeah, so like in 2025, he's got an $18 million dead cap hit. So that's what he counts. Like if he's on the roster and they don't get rid of him in 2025, then he would count for 39.5 on their cap. If they were to get rid of him, he only gets 18 million and they save the rest of that money.
Right. Joe Revs likes Latin freestyle. Elizabeth wants to know, can someone define Home Depoters to me?
They're the guys that are outside with the vending and they give you the hot dogs and stuff like that.
I am going to explain this to Elizabeth because this is a term that Rob says, not me, because it's a very derogatory term. It's in reference to a player who is no longer going to be in the NFL or should be in the NFL, and he works at Home Depot. That is something Rob came up with. I find it highly offensive. But
you're putting that on me?
Yeah.
I don't even know who works at Home Depot.
Matt,
is it Nate Solder for
Matt from Connecticut works at Home Depot.
Oh my god!
I've been calling people Home Depoters forever. So I mean, I have the all. Everyone loves because I have the all shorts team and I have the all Home Depot team. Let's see here. James says, "Can we talk about the players who are so soft today that in Washington they are complaining because Eric is yelling at them?" Did something happen where people are getting yelled at?
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything. James, I don't know anything about that. David says, do you have an autograph at Daniel Jones? No, I don't have an autograph at Daniel Jones. He never gave me one. He should. I love the whole Tim hates Daniel Jones thing. It cracks me up.
I get told I hate Daniel Jones too. I think it's funny.
It cracks me up. I have probably met and talked to Daniel Jones more than all the YouTubers combined that love him. I have stood next to Daniel Jones and Big L and Lorenzo can tell you this. I've stood 3 feet away from Daniel Jones, 2 feet away from Daniel Jones on the field before games. You know, I always talk about the fact how I met him at midfield as I was running off the field before kickoff, and I gave him the, hey, come on, Daniel, this was against Washington. I was like, hey, Daniel, come on, you could do this, man. You got this. He gave me the thumbs up. Yeah, people want to refer to the question that I asked him, but I asked him an honest question. Doesn't mean I hate the guy.
I think the thing about this is like people think that I hate Daniel. I was a very, very big Daniel Jones supporter. I was talking about a lot of some of these other people are talking about Daniel Jones now. Like I made the line an excuse, the weapons an excuse, and all of that stuff. And I tell you what, going into last year, I learned a lot more hanging out with a lot more people that are more intelligent about the game of football than I was. Like I was thinking, okay, if they have a lot of yardage and they have a lot of touchdowns, then they're good, right? And that's not the way it is, So when you listen to and you look at all of the different statistics and everything like that, you get a little bit more of an appreciation for what goes into being a good quarterback. And so after that week 11 matchup against the Lions, I watched some of the other quarterbacks and they just play the game at a different type of pace. They just, the way they read the field, the way they scan the field. I mean, that's what makes them good. And at that point I said, you know what? I don't think that Daniel Jones is the guy. Like I haven't seen anything. And I think I was looking at him all wrong. And I was just sitting here making excuses. So now that I'm a little bit more critical about my evaluation about Daniel Jones, it makes me and Tim and others haters, but we're not. I want him to succeed. I want him to do well.
If you say that, you just need to shut up. I got that. Remember, I got that on Twitter last week. If you think if you're a hater and Daniel Jones performs well, you just need to shut up and not say anything.
Look, here's the other thing too. Like when you go on Twitter and you go in, there are people that only want to talk about the positive stuff and only want to be positive, and they only want to make excuses around why somebody isn't doing well. How is that any different than if you're trying to get better at something and everybody and you go and you ask people, hey, how am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing? And they just keep, hey, man, you're doing great. Keep it up. You're doing great. You're keeping up. But meanwhile, you're not doing shit, right? You want to get told what you're doing wrong so that you can become better. Right. Not just, hey, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good, right? So that's what me and others do. Like we talk about, hey, he does this good. He does this good. You know, I mean, that's just what we do. We give him props when we need to give him props. But at the end of the day, I want him to succeed. I think he has all of the intangibles to be a top 5 quarterback. He's got the arm. He's got the size. He's got the running capability. I think he can make all of the throws. He just has to do it. That's it.
Well, that's because you're an idiot and a fake fan.
Yeah, I'm a fake.
If you don't blindly believe in everything, you're just an idiot. We got the now salute and respect to the proper to the big boss, Tim.
Tudo, my paisan.
All the diehard Giant fans in America, please slap them loser boys out the door. I love this one because I saw this one too. Rob, honesty is banned in 2023.
I guess I'm banned.
Oh my goodness. We had a question about who would win in a fight, Jeff Newman, as a Home Depot team or the All Shorts team. Well, if it's on a neutral site, the Home Depot was lift a lot of wood and stuff. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
They're probably bulking up, you know, and the All Shorts team, they're probably fast because they're in shorts. Now, Jeff, are the Home Depoters in this game, legendary matchup, are they wearing the aprons? Because I think that's going to be the key to success. If they are wearing the aprons, I am giving the advantage to the Home Depot team because of the fact that they could throw the rulers, they could throw nails. There's a lot to think about here. And the best thing is I do that seriously. I did a guest appearance a couple of weeks back. I can't remember the podcast because sometimes I just agree to things. I don't know who people are. And they asked me a question about the punt returns. And I gave this long diatribe about punt returns and this and this and this and this. And they stopped and they said, "Are you being serious?" I'm like, "No." It's like, I'm not. I'm just making shit up as I'm rolling along. But if you say anything,
I was waiting for you to tell me to stop.
And that's exactly what I told him. I said, if you say anything and you look dead in the camera and you don't blink and you give it with a certain amount of conviction, no matter what you're saying, it comes out awesome. It comes out believable. Watch this. Fisk Vegas is awesome. See, I couldn't even hold a straight face on that. Sorry, had to go there. I'm going with the Home Depot team because they're gonna fight dirty. Oh my goodness, Home Depoters because Shorts team aren't allowed to hit. That's right. The All Shorts team is not allowed to hit. Oh my God, this is just spinning way out of control. I think starting at 10 o'clock is way too early. Let's see the Home Depot team because most likely has bad knees. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Let's see here. There's nothing wrong with being honest. You've been consistent about Daniel Jones since he was drafted. I've been honest about DJ, and a fan just told me I need to be more supporting to DJ when he plays bad. It's like,
oh man,
he's not my wife.
Listen, Daniel really needs. Hello, hi. Is this Tim? Yes. Hi, this is Mackenzie from the NFL Players Association, and an NFL player needs your support. Okay. Daniel Jones had a bad performance this weekend, and he needs you to give him a big hug and tell him that it's going to be okay, that it's all right, that a grown man makes mistakes, but that next week is a new week. And one game doesn't define who he is as a man and as a player and a quarterback for the New York Giants. And fuck off!
And with a donation of $14.99 a month, you get your Daniel Jones panties, so you can wear them clearly on your head. Here's the problem, and here's the thing that I even said it in a video yesterday or 2 days ago. I said I did a video. I don't remember which video it was, but I was actually very complimentary about Daniel Jones for like 9.5 minutes. And then there was a 30-second spot where I said, but he did miss this guy and he didn't do this. And, that is something he needs to work on. Very, very benign. I went back and I looked at the video and I looked at the comment section, and you would think I ripped him for an hour and a half. And someone wrote, I was just waiting for you to say something negative. I was like, well, wait a minute. What happened to the other 9.5 minutes where everything was positive? No. You're not allowed to question things. You're not allowed to question reality in 2023. Oh, I still like the fact that the Home Depoters likely have bad knees. Oh my God. Let's see. James says, you're killing it with the jokes and the puns today, chat. Gotta love y'all. Let's see. I get that all the time. It's annoying. Rob needs to have the arms of the angel playing in the background. That's what you need. Join now for the Daniel Jones Club.
We are here to support you.
Month.
You're here for $14.99. You can support your quarterback, Daniel Jones. Support him in his time of need. He needs your help to beat the Dallas Cowboys. He is your future.
I was about to say he's the future.
He is
our future. Daniel Jones is.
He is your quarterback. He will be the new key to the city. He will be better than Eli Manning. He has the potential. And he says a lot.
He does.
But he is great. Support your quarterback.
Oh my God. Davey wants to know, who are the all shorts team? The all shorts team is what we are in training camp when we don't have the pass. And I've said it before, training camp a lot of times is a choreographed ballet when you're not hitting anybody. So that's the all shorts team. Let's see here. Oh, Tim, also a fan, told me he must have been confused because I said I wanted him to be great, and the moron just asked me, don't put DJ and the word great in the same sentence. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm going to do? Giants are playing. I'm going to be at the game on Friday. And the Giants, of course, are playing the Carolina Panthers. I will be on the sidelines on Friday because I'm such a fake fan. I'm going to wear Daniel Jones' jersey on Friday. Look for online, Big Blue. Look for OBB and his number 8 jersey.
You got this, Tim.
Oh, I'm only doing it because it's going to set people on fire. It's gonna drive people insane. It is literally gonna drive people insane. It's the same people that won't blink an eye to criticize Justin Fields. Justin Fields had more touchdowns, had more rushing yards, and had more combined total yards than Daniel Jones on a team with no wide receivers and no offensive line, but somehow he sucks. What's up, Irish Rover? DJ is better than Chuck and Charlie, Y.A. Tittle, Phil Simms, Eli Manning, all rolled up into one. Davey said, Tim, you better get a Daniel Jones autographed. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one. I'm going to go get a Daniel Jones autograph. Todd says, if you don't get hurt, they'll claim you jinxed him. You're right. I shouldn't wear a Daniel Jones jersey. Davey says, Daniel Jones for 15 touchdowns at a contract. Guys, you need to show a little more blind faith. Oh my God.
Funny.
You know what? The chat's been awesome today. It's time to roll out of here. I appreciate everyone coming in. Anyone that's going to the game on Friday, I will be there taking a bunch of subscribers to hang out in the coaches club and then on the field on Friday. So you'll see me in my Daniel Jones number 8 jersey. I'll be waving to everyone from the sidelines. Oh my God. What's this one? Tim, there is nothing more that I hate than a social justice keyboard warrior because they can't handle negativity. I love this one. Tim, don't leave. Come on. I'm having so much fun. It's been a great chat today. Love this chat. This is therapy for me. For the guys who talk about being in reality, you sure do have tangents around these straw arguments around needing to support DJ to be a good fan. Okay. Need to wear your cape on Friday as well. I do have a giant cape. Should I wear the giant cape, Rob?
You should.
Okay. I think I do have a giant cape. Chat is great chat as usual, boys. Everyone have a good week and remember to wear your Daniel Jones for President pins. I want everyone in this chat to go out right now, buy a Daniel Jones jersey, and I want you to wear it from tomorrow till Saturday. We are going to be the Support Daniel Jones channel.
100%.
100%. We are going to show these people that call us haters what haters really are. Because a hater's going to hate and a player's going to play. We just shake it off here. I was out way too late. Detroit versus everybody. Let's see. Tim, tell me why Fist Vegas is awesome, please. Oh my God. I'm not even going to answer that. Because this is a kinder, gentler Tim in 2023. This is the kinder, gentler Tim. Irish Rovers says, love to Tim, Bob. You're now Bob in the chat. No way. Guilty says, not buying a Daniel Jones jersey. No way. Okay, just take a white t-shirt, white undershirt, and put a big 8 on it and write Jones on the back, but spell it wrong. Spell it with like 2 S's. Let's see there. Tell me why Fist Vegas is always mad. I don't know. He's hard to listen to. I've heard one
You're
video.
good, Irish.
I had one video. I think video or podcast. I heard like, I would say maybe 5 minutes of it from Fist Vegas. And that's the only time I've ever listened to him. And so I can't tell you what, I don't know if he's mad.
He tries to talk hard. If you ain't with it, then you better get with it. I support Daniel Jones.
Don't go away. I don't know why he's mad. Small wee-wee. It's usually what they say in psychology classes.
He has an inferiority complex.
Thank you. It's a projection. He's taking his inadequacies and insecurities and trying to project it onto other people. I did 2 years of psych. Or get a Dale Earnhardt jersey. No. I gotta close this out. But I am gonna say this. No on the Dale Earnhardt thing, because I went to one NASCAR race, and that was 2020 Daytona 500. And that is the race that Dale Earnhardt Sr. died in. So evidently I have been banned from NASCAR. So I'm not allowed to go to NASCAR after that. And it was weird because I was in pit row. I posted these pictures before, and I was standing at the beginning of the race. I was standing like a foot next to Dale Earnhardt Sr. And I didn't know who he was because I'm not a NASCAR guy. I was standing a foot away from him, and then I took a picture with him. And then when he died, we got home, and someone told me he died. And then I had the pictures, and I was like, and they're like, I'm showing it to people. And he goes, "Oh my God, you got a picture of Dale Earnhardt." I said, "I didn't even know that." He goes, "He's the guy in the black hat with the gargoyle sunglasses on." I'm like, "Oh." It's like, okay, didn't know these things. So I'm not allowed to go to NASCAR races. Tim and DJ Negativity usually gets upset. Who usually gets upset?
Oh, Fisk is, I think is what he's talking about.
Who's worse, Fisk or Pizzle?
Both.
They do a podcast.
They complement each other very well.
The Outcasts, the podcast is, I think.
Or the Outsiders or some shit.
Well, I like the Outcast better. Which is so funny because they all so want to be at the cool kid table that they had to say that they're the Outcasts so they can have their own club. He's like 4'8", 160. Okay. Who? Who's 4'8", 160? I'm almost 6'1", 225. I was like, I'm not 4'8", 660. That's why.
Do you guys know what pizzle means?
Oh, you did this. This was great.
Does anybody know what pizzle means?
I saw you post this. This was great.
Anybody know what the word pizzle means?
No, Rob, we don't.
Pizzle means bull penis.
Really?
Means bull penis.
I did not know this. Fist might be the worst. Giants on YouTube. Planet seriously. The gunshot sounds when you're talking about football. Pizzle is strange. I do like to point out that last weekend I took Grandpa OPB to the range, and I was 47 out of 50 in the red. Just wanted to point that out. I had a good day. using the 6 Hour 226. Then I switched over to the Glock 45, but it was a good day. It was a good day for OBB. Let's see here. Who's the worst head coach of all time, Hanley or Joe Judge? That's a tie. That's a tie. All right, we're out of here because I don't want to talk about these. When is Tim going to be on one of Rob's Twitter spaces again? Rob, when are you doing a Twitter space?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know if I'll do one later today. If I do, it'll be like I'll probably just be like to kind of fart around. I'll probably do one Monday. Probably do one on Monday.
All right, so maybe I'll go on Monday. Tim, I meant Fisk hates any DJ negativity. That's fine. I don't care. I'm saying Fisk is probably for it using the fake voice. Okay, I got it. With all the nonsense they talk, the name is fitting. What is the name? Let's figure out the name, and then I gotta go. I really gotta go. What's the name of the show? Is it the Outsiders, or what was Rob's? What was your? Don't look it up first.
I said outside. I said Outsiders. You said Outcasts.
I said the Outcasts. James says it's the Outsiders. Okay. Rob wins. Rob wins. Just for Rob winning.
1, 2, 3.
But here are the greasers. Let's go, Pony Boy. All right, Rob won. All right, everyone. Yay. It is the Outsiders podcast. Too late. I already turned off the music. Okay. Well, you know what? Now we've cleared that up. I will be at the game on Friday. I have a new video coming out Tuesday with the proud partner of Mint Mobile. So make sure you stay tuned for that and go on the Mint Mobile website right now, mintmobile.com/Big Blue, and get quality service at half off. So you can get 3 months, unlimited internet, unlimited talk, unlimited message and text for $45 for 3 months. That's $15 a month. That's online. That's mintmobile.com/Big Blue. Make sure you sign up today and stay tuned for that big video. We're out of here, Rob. I want to appreciate everyone for hanging out because today was an awesome shot. We had a great group in here, guys. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. This is Tim. This is Rob R0V bringing you the best of Sunday Giant. And you know what? We are out of here. Do the monkey with me.
Do the monkey with me.